All right. Welcome back, Tammy and Will. We had a long journey. It's crazy that this is our last session together. There's been a lot of progress between you guys individually and as a couple, based off of my own experience and observation with you two. Today, we're just going to just talk about some of that progress, and we're going to discuss, I'm going to let you guys talk about your plant for your graduation memorial, and then we're going to just wrap up with any last remarks that you may have, and then future sessions if needed. Okay. So I want to first address Will. You came in feeling inadequate in the home, and you, because of the lack, you not being able to find income, but you have been able to find other ways to contribute to the household. And how has that been going for you so far?
Man, it's like there's stuff around the house that can get done, and she ain't got to come home and worry about it. There's like little errands and things that can get done to take the load off of her, and I'm willing to do that because it ain't doing nothing else. Shit. You, you know.
I appreciate it because it's like, there are ways to contribute in the home that are not financial. I mean, I'm not trying to say that he's trying to be, like a stay-at-home dad for the rest of his life, but stay-at-home fathers are a thing. And if a stay-at-home mother's job has value, I don't see why a man handling these things around the house, these domestic things, should not also be valuable. And I really appreciate it.
That's good. Good. And so, Will, you're able to identify within yourself some form of value as you contribute in that way, correct? I know you mentioned that
Yeah,
before.
yeah, something like.
Good, good. And Tammy, I know that when it came down to your relationship with Will's kids, that we have seen that you guys have gone on some dates and had some family gatherings, and that there was also the situation regarding their names. How do you plan on keeping that up moving forward after we have concluded sessions?
I'm gonna call them by their name as their dad would prefer them called by their names, and for a couple of reasons. I mean, to be clear, it's still, I'm not gonna say I'll suddenly like the names or anything like that, but um it's not that big a deal. If it matters to him because these are names that he put thought and his heart into and picking for his kids, I can respect that. And yeah, I am forging my own path with these children, but when you forge a path by yourself as an independent person, you're the only person whose, you know, comfort needs to be considered, right? But when you forge in a path that includes other people and people in the peripheral, because the path is with them and trying to find how I fit into their life, but he's very walking that path beside me. So it can't be about just what I like and what makes me comfortable, except especially with something as, I'm not using any different amount of energy to call them by their first names than I am the energy calling them by their middle names. And so
But and just to be on the record, it's like we asked and the kids don't really care, but she still, is like, that's what you do, that's what I'm gonna do. It ain't that complicated. So
right.
that work out a lot.
And how does that make you feel, Will, with Tammy having that perspective of respecting you?
That works out. Yeah.
Good. That's really good. So, as you stated, I like what you said, Tammy, regarding the peripheral, and it's not just about you anymore. It's about that other person as well, and the people in their lives as you guys continue to establish a family. Increasing that bond and that intimacy between one another, understanding that compromise is a big part of it. Also, with Will, as you stated, there's many ways to contribute to the household, which can reinforce your sense of value as an important part of the home and the family that you and Tammy have together. So that's really great to hear. I know that you said it in the last session, you were still going to continue to seek employment, but that this was a great step for you to make.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Good. That's really good to hear. Okay, so throughout this process, I know I requested that you guys have spend some time together creating on a project that
Plant.
Yeah.
that symbolizes your journey in the counseling session and your relationship. And I know you guys
We
made
we
plenty
ready
of
for you.
You gotta
raise
bring
it
it
up
up.
just a little bit. Oh, very nice. Oh, and it's sprouted. Yay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
This
You
one is
ready?
green beans, cabbage, cucumber, carrot, onion, corn. That's all
Very
I
nice.
right now.
And
We got a grape tree outside.
Yeah, and we got a grape tree outside.
very nice.
And they're
I
a week old today. We planted them 1 week ago.
Good job. And I know that you said that this was Will's idea to do the planning, correct?
Yeah, because you see all the plants back here. I can't really keep anything alive that's going to keep us alive. So he's trying his hand at things that we can actually eat. So yeah, so I would have just picked another plant for the house, but he was like, let's get these seeds and see what happened. And that's what's happening.
And now you got fruit. Well, actually, you got vegetables, but now you're getting something.
Oh, we got watermelon too. We got a watermelon over there too.
Oh, well, then there we go.
And cantaloupe. Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, how do you see that project that you guys chose as being reflective to your experience in counseling and your relationship together? Let's start with you, Tammy.
About survival.
Tammy.
Oh, go ahead. We need the pen again.
No, we don't need no
Yeah.
pen. It's you doing things together, and I think for me, I've been on my own, doing my own thing, not sharing in decisions for a long time, and now that has changed. So to do something like that together, to help something grow together, we want to grow our home and maybe grow our family the same way we just cultivated these plants. So I feel like if you can come together and make something, he put the hole, I make the hole, he dropped the seeds, we water together, make sure it gets light. I mean, it's not happening without both of us putting some energy into it. And I think, when it comes time to harvest, that'll be something that we do together. Again, I mean, two people coming together to add enrichment, to these plants is the same way two people come together to enrich lives.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. Well,
Man, it's like survival. You got to grow something to survive. You got and this nurture us. To a certain degree, give us nutrients in it, which help you survive. So I just use it as a symbolization of the plants being nurtured by our bodies, which is going to enrich and whatnot our relationship.
Mhm. Yeah.
very good. And I like what you said about the nutrients, right? The things that we need to continue to, like you said, to survive, to grow, to endure, and all the tools that you guys have gathered and gotten out of counseling are in essence nutrients for your relationship as you continue forward, right?
Yeah.
The exercises that we've done, the pen situation, learning how to take turns to talk, to communication skills, all those serve as nutrients for you guys' relationship as you continue on. And the plant is a great item, it's a great project because it's something that's not just going to stop, right? It's not just one craft project that once you finish it, it's over, you can frame it. Like this is something that you guys can continue to nurture together moving forward, and you're going to always see harvests, and there's always going to always be some pruning needed, even in your relationship, right? As symbolic in that manner. So they can continue to be growing.
Can you wait a second? Just come back in like 10 minutes. Thank you.
So it's really so it's really good that you guys chose that project. I think that says a lot about your desire to continue to work together and grow together.
Right, because once they're big enough, we have to move them into larger buckets or plant them in the ground. So yeah, it's not just like you said, a craft project that's done and then, it's done. It still requires the same energy, yeah.
Yeah, that same energy, that same time, a lot of patience,
Mhm.
right? A lot of skills that are used in planting that can be transferred over into your relationship. Patience, nurturing, waiting for the harvest.
Yeah.
All of that can be related over into your relationship.
Right.
So did you guys pick a spot in your yard where you're going to move everything?
I don't know. I was looking at some stuff online where they were showing how you could just, without digging up your ground, you could use 5-gallon buckets.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something to do. And I mean, I know when people plant things in the ground, they don't, bring them all in the house when the weather gets bad. But while the plants are still small, if the weather gets bad, we can bring them up onto the deck or even into the back door a little bit to protect them until they're bigger. So I kind of like the bucket thing because you don't have to worry about, torrential storm that might come out of nowhere here in Houston, tearing up, what you've been working to grow for the last, 3 weeks. I mean, at this point, we're only a week, but I hate to see them all tore up from that.
But you guys have a lot of progress in that 1 week, right? This stuff is already coming out. Like that's pretty amazing. Have you guys
talked too? It was literally overnight. He looked at him one night before bed, and then the next morning I looked at him when I was logging into work, and it was dirt the night before. And then the next morning, I had put the grow lights for my house plants. I put over those plants, and it was like that. They just
Wow. Have you guys considered incorporating Will's kids, or do you want to keep this just between you two?
I think it's something that we should to master before we share it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what if we grow plants that don't produce no vegetables, and then we got the kids out all ready to pick some vegetables and ain't a bean to be found. So maybe we get something we can actually get off of it first.
That sounds good. Sounds good. Well, I do have a report that I am going to send to you guys. It's just an overview of your treatment process and your progress from the very first session to this last session. And so that you guys can have it with you. It'll be something tangible that you guys can hold on to. It's going to graph out your progress individually and what I've observed and you guys' progress collectively as a family household. Moving forward as we close out, I want to let you guys know that I will be following up with you in a couple of months, just to see how you guys are doing. But if at any point you want to get back in contact with me, if you feel yourself starting to relapse or there's your argument starting to increase again, and maybe you guys are feeling like some of the exercises are not working or inefficient, or if you don't remember some of them, please feel free to reach out to me at any point and let me know, and we can schedule another meeting. This is not really goodbye, just could be. I hope it will be, because I mean, if you guys are okay, but I am available for you if needed. But I will be following up with you myself within a month's time, just to see how you guys are doing. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good. So, is there anything and lastly, I want to give you this opportunity to share to one another what you have learned about yourself and what you vow moving forward with your spouse. Okay. So that's one thing that you've learned about yourself during the counseling session, and two, what you will be vow to your spouse moving forward as you continue on after the sessions. So we're going to start with Will. And speak to each other.
I learned that you can find value in a lot of stuff. And there's opportunities to take a second and just pause and you know, appreciate things that most people overlook. And also act on some of those things to add value. And I learned that I wasn't really good at seeing that. And I think Doc can help me, pull it together, a little bit, give it some structure, something like that.
I learned that I think I'm right a lot of the times, and you sometimes when you think you're right, but nobody else is considered, yeah, you're not offending, it's just you. But you can't keep that I'm right mentality when other people become involved. And I learned that about myself. I'm stubborn and I see one way, and I understand the value now in other perspectives, and it's not just your perspective in the right now, it's your perspective in where you came from to get to right now. So you got to think about how people are feeling in the moment and what they've come through to get to this moment that is probably greatly affecting how they're receiving, what's going on. So I'm not right, and other perspectives matter. They matter. Your perspective matters.
I was gonna ask when you was gonna start talking to me and not to Doc, but it's cool.
You matter.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Well, okay, you two, I thank you so much. I hope you guys remember a lot of the exercises and the interventions that we did throughout the sessions. And like I said, if at any point you need a refresher, feel free to reach out to me. I am available. I am very honored to have gone on this journey with you to see your progress. And I can't wait to hear where you guys are in a month's time when I follow up. Is there any questions? Any comments?
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. My honor. So I will hope to see you guys in a month. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You guys have a good day.
You too.
You too.